Finding Yourself Again. A psychologist's journey through emotional slumps. It's late evening in my New York apartment, and I realize it's been a long time since I recorded a video after dark. Lately, my days haven't felt right. My energy dips, motivation wavers, and emotions swing unpredictably. As a psychologist and teacher, I feel it's time to share a few practical methods I've tested personally, hoping they might help you climb out of your own emotional rut. First, let's acknowledge something essential. No matter your background, whether you're wealthy or just getting by, a public figure or a private citizen, emotional ups and downs are part of the human experience. Our moods ebb and flow. Today you might feel on top of the world, fully present and productive, only to find yourself tomorrow lying in bed, unmotivated and defeated, wondering why you feel like a failure. Emotions, like physical health, sometimes falter, just as you might catch a cold or run a mild fever. So too can your mood slip into a slump. When we're hurt, whether physically or emotionally, there's an instinct to retreat, to cocoon ourselves in isolation. This isn't just modern malaise, it's an ancient survival mechanism. In nature, wounded animals hide to preserve their strength and survive. If they kept roaming, their injuries would worsen, and the species might not endure. So, if you find yourself hiding away, don't judge yourself too harshly. It's a deep-rooted, adaptive response. Now, here's what I suggest as your first step. Clean yourself up, literally. Take a long, thorough shower. As you let the warm water wash over you, imagine it carrying away every drop of negativity, every strand of bad luck, every weight from your mind. Don't underestimate the power of this simple act. It can mark the turning point between feeling stuck and regaining momentum, especially if you go the extra mile and style your hair, making yourself feel new again. For example, I notice that when my hair isn't freshly washed, my mood lags and my energy wanes. Next, look around your home. Is your space as cluttered as your mind feels? Start by tidying up. Sort those clothes piled in the corner. Wash out the sink. Organize your skincare products and stack your books. The state of your living space often mirrors your internal landscape. In fact, I've spoken before about the connection between outer order and inner calm. Sometimes, after I've finished cleaning my own space, I'll even watch home organization shows, getting vicarious satisfaction from seeing messes turned into neatness. Once your physical environment feels lighter, move to your digital world. Delete unused apps. Unsubscribe from emails that don't spark joy. Turn off those relentless notifications and clear your desktop. It's the same principle as tidying your home. Digital clutter can drag you down just as much as a messy room. Many of us spend hours a day online, so your digital space is now an extension of your real world. After decluttering, grab a book you've always meant to read. Don't worry about racing through it or competing with others. Reading isn't about quantity, but about inspiration and reflection. Sometimes a single sentence can hit you in a way that changes your outlook for days. When I'm particularly anxious or down, I turn to science fiction. The genre's perspective, seeing humanity as a tiny part of the universe, reminds me how small my troubles really are. Just the other week, I reread an old favorite, The Rural Teacher, by Liu Cixin, a Chinese-American sci-fi author. That story always jolts me out of my funk. I've lost count of how many times I've gone back to that short story. I recommend it to anyone. The Rural Teacher explores how, even though humans don't inherit memories like some animals, we've built a civilization by slowly accumulating knowledge. It's astonishing. Humans in America, or anywhere, communicate at an average rate of just 1 to 10 bits per second. Yet we've managed to create societies, cities, and technology of immense scale. Every time I think about it, I'm reminded how misunderstandings and miscommunications are normal. We're working with low bandwidth and high potential for error, so of course it's sometimes hard to connect. What I've learned is that sometimes a shift in perspective is all it takes to solve the problems right in front of you. Don't just limit yourself to one kind of book. Explore widely. If you're short on time, make a book list or find recommendations online. Reading can help heal the mind, just as exercise helps heal the body. And that leads me to the next step, physical movement. If your emotional discomfort is deep, a simple walk may not cut it. You need to sweat. Research shows that intense exercise triggers the release of endorphins, your body's natural mood lifters, as well as dopamine and increased oxygen in your blood. It's a near-instant mood boost. Go for a run, lift weights, or try a spin class at your local gym. I know firsthand that the hardest part is overcoming inertia, but the benefits are real. I urge you, be kind to yourself, but challenge yourself to move. When you can, get outside, truly outside. Leave your shoes at the door and feel the earth under your feet. Science tells us the ground carries negative ions, and there's evidence that this contact with the earth can foster physical and mental well-being. If you live near a park or forest preserve, all the better. Immerse yourself in nature's energy. Remember, plants have flourished outdoors for hundreds of millions of years. No wonder they wither when kept indoors, just as we do. Our modern indoor lifestyles are a tiny blip in the story of our species. That's why basking in the sun and breathing fresh air matters so much. Finally, after all these steps, come back to yourself. Accept the time you think you've wasted and realize that periods of low mood are part of your natural rhythm, an ancient system of self-protection. True breakthrough comes when you embrace adversity instead of fighting it. Just as you feel a surge of energy after recovering from the flu, you'll notice a new vitality as your mood lifts. I go through cycles of depression and fatigue myself, and each time, I have to save myself again. Remember what philosopher William James taught us. Happiness and sorrow are rooted in our subjective experience, not the circumstances themselves. Ultimately, only we can pull ourselves up. I hope my story and these strategies help you find your own way back to the light. See you next time, and remember, you have the strength to save yourself.